Our college has been engaging prior learning assessment processes for our students since its beginning, which is over about 42 years ago. It's a long history of having prior learning assessment in an institution. Part of our unique qualities as an institution have enabled us to really embrace and engage prior learning assessment. The first major point about our institution is that our students, our undergraduate students, design their own degrees around what we call area of studies, which are like departments. They're guidelines that have been set forth. These are equivalent to competencies. So in many ways, our programs are competency-based. We also have degree requirements that are coming out of SUNY and some that our own institution has set. And so the students get these guidelines about the types of learning that have to be in their degree, and then certain kinds of requirements such as the number of liberal arts credits, the number of upper level credits, those kinds of things. And they have to look at all of that, and then they design their degree. So prior learning assessment can be very much a part of their degree. As a result, every one of our faculty members are aware of prior learning assessment and are expected to guide students through the process. I think turning to the research a little bit reinforces what is already seen anecdotally. In the research, we see that prior learning assessment does seem to strengthen students' study skills, self-reflection, many of the self-regulated learning skills, and make them a stronger student. Some of the research comes out of dissertations that are comparing students who participate in prior learning assessment versus those that are not. At the same time, studies such as the CALE study has indicated that students graduate at higher rates. They take less time for completion, which means less cost to them, and they take more courses at the institution. But these are all pieces that research is indicating. But from the student perspective, some of the benefits have to do really with being recognized for their learning. When students are able to start to talk about their learning and who they are, how they've acquired that learning and have applied it, they start to realize how much they know. Many students will talk about the process of going through prior learning assessment, regardless of which type of prior learning assessment, does make them have to stop and think about, what do I know? What is my knowledge? And when a college or university recognizes that knowledge, it really validates to somebody that they have worth and that they're not just an empty vessel. So that's an important piece of this. Institutions have different things that they can do to implement PLA and ensure good transferability of those credits. First of all, institutions need to have a philosophy statement and some good policy that's going to really support PLA throughout the institution. It really needs to be accepted within the institution before it can really transfer easily outside of the institution. Faculty and staff, administration, all need to be able to support the PLA process, which means an institution really does need to invest in doing good professional development with their faculty, especially around the assessment of learning. This seems to be probably one of the biggest issues that faculty have in terms of not really understanding the rigor of what goes into prior learning assessment. Now, there's many forms of prior learning assessment, from standardized exams, pre-evaluated learning, things that American Council on Education or the National College Credit Recommendation Service have recommended. There's institutions such as Empire State College, Thomas Edison State College of New Jersey, Charter Oak State College of Connecticut, for examples. that also evaluate professional training, certifications, licenses for college credit as well. And a lot of times faculty are unaware of the processes that are in place to go through those pre-evaluated situations. At the same time, some institutions have individualized prior learning assessment. That's when a student would develop a portfolio and be able to document learning they've acquired that has not already been assessed. Faculty need to get a really good understanding of how these processes are assessed and different options around assessment. What would be really good is for an institution to adopt a statement about what is college, university level learning that is used both within the classroom assessments and with prior learning assessment. When the same criteria are used in both places, then it's easier for faculty to accept it as equivalent learning. In many cases, an institution is not going to make money on prior learning assessment, but it does increase the enrollments and it increases persistent rates and graduation rates. So the institution is making back the money in other ways, but it also shouldn't lose money. So an institution has to think through, what is the business model? The practices, there are very key things around practices that need to be thought through in terms of, what types of credits are accepted, but more importantly even, how are they applied to a degree? The students don't want to go through a process that becomes at the end that they can't even use it. They would get even more frustrated. So the ways in which the credits can be used within the process really need to be thought through.